Friends, we will cover chapter 7 of NCERT Classics History. Before moving on, we should learn some important definitions. The empire. A very big kingdom is called an empire. For example, Magad was a very big kingdom and it later converted into the Mauryan Empire. What is a dynasty? When the members of the same family they become rulers one after the other, it is called a dynasty. The lion capital you can see in the picture. These are used in the present day notes and coins, but originally it was a stone carving on the top of a Sarnath pillar in Varanasi. What is tribute? Friends, we know taxes are collected regularly from the people. However, tribute these were collected from the people as and when possible. Dhamma, this is the Prakrit word for the term dharma, as we know in the Sanskrit. What is a province? It is an administrative unit of the empire, or in present day you can relate it to the states. What is an official? He is a representative of government department and he is also assigned with some important duties like collecting taxes, etc. Now friends, we will study about the Mauryan Empire. Recall from the previous chapter that Magad became a big kingdom on Ganga Valley. We have studied, and it also played later on an important role in the origin of the Mauryan Empire. Now friends, this empire was founded by Chandragupta Maurya more than 2300 years ago, and it was a short duration empire. Basically it collapsed about 2200 years ago, so 100 years it ruled. These dynasty had three important rulers, basically Chandragupta Maurya, then his son Bindusara, then Ashoka. Three important cities were there in the empire, friends. We will study in the next slide. Patliputra was the capital city of the Mauryan Empire. Okay. Taxila, it was the gateway to the northwest, as you can see in the map. Ujjain was also an important location. It lied on route from north to south India. Okay. And also remember, friends, Taxila and Ujjain, they acted as a provincial capital for areas outside of Patliputra control. Okay, Patliputra was the capital city and it had a control over the areas surrounding this city. But outside of these areas, Ujjain and Taxila, they acted as a provincial capital at that time. Now friends, Chandragupta Maurya was supported by a wise man named Chanakya or Kautilya. Many of Chanakya's ideas, these were written down in a book called Arthashastra. So remember this fact very much. Arthashastra is a book which contains Chanakya's ideas. Okay. Now friends, Megasthenes, we will study about him. He was an ambassador who was sent to the court of Chandragupta Maurya by the Greek ruler of West Asia. Friends, based on his writings, we know the answer to these questions such as how the king life was there or the description of the Patliputra city. Please pause the video and read this informative slide. You will understand it very easily. Friends, now we will study about the Ashoka, a unique ruler of the Mauryan Empire. The most famous Mauryan ruler was Ashoka. He was the first ruler who tried to take his message to the people through inscriptions. Most of the Ashoka's inscriptions were in Prakrit and they were written in the Brahmi script. Always remember this fact. Most modern Indian scripts have developed from the Brahmi script. For example, Devanagari script of our Hindi. He is the only king in the history of the world who gave up his victory after winning a war in Kalinga. It is a place in coastal Orissa, and as he was horrified with the violence and bloodshed seen in the war. He was also inspired by the teachings of the Lord Buddha. Now friends, Ashoka's Dhamma. What is Dhamma? We have studied earlier. It is the Prakrit word for Dharma. Okay, what was Ashoka's Dharma? Basically, it did not involve worshipping the god or performing the sacrifices like the Rajas of Mahajanpads used to do. Instead, he tried to solve the people's problems. Like people in the empire, they followed different religions and this led to conflicts. There were sacrifices of animals, slaves and servants, they were ill treated. Okay, and there were quarrels in the families and neighbors. So these kinds of problems he tried to solve them and educate people about their behavior in the society. Now friends, what were the means adopted by the Ashoka to spread the message of Dhamma or Dharma? Okay, he appointed officials known as Dhamma Mahamatta. Okay, read this first point. They went from places to places teaching people about Ashoka's Dhamma. Besides, Ashoka got his messages inscribed on rocks and pillars. We have read earlier he used the process of inscriptions. Okay, he used inscriptions, and in very first chapter of our history book we have read what is inscriptions. These are the carvings on the hard stone or hard metal or stone. Okay, these are written on the hard surface like metal or stone. Okay, so Ashoka also sent messengers to spread ideas about Dhamma to other lands such as Syria, Greece, Sri Lanka. Okay, he built roads, dug wells, and built rest houses. Okay, besides, he arranged for medical treatment for both human beings and animals. So these are the kind of methodology he adopted for spreading his teachings. Now friends, let us do a small exercise. Identify Syria, Egypt and Greece on the map. I have produced a map here. See, Syria is located here. You have Greece here. Okay, you have Egypt here. Friends, from the map you can see Syria is sharing its boundary with the 5 countries, namely see Turkey, Lebanon, Israel, Iraq and Jordan. Now friends, name the countries where Ashokan inscriptions have been found. Which Indian states were outside the empire? This is an NCERT question I have taken up here. Friends, these inscriptions have been found in present day Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And the Indian states which were outside the Ashoka's empire were the northeastern states Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Just go to slide number 6. I have produced a map there. You can very easily locate. Now friends, around the time when Mauryan empire was flourishing, around this time the Chinese emperors were constructing the Great Wall of China. Okay, to protect their frontiers from the pastoral people because they used the common property resources for grazing. So this around this time Ashoka expanded its empire of Dhamma by sending officials to spread the message of non-violence. So this example presents the open-mindedness of Ashoka. This shows the difference in the attitude of Ashoka towards neighboring people and what is the difference from the Chinese emperors. So friends, I think chapter has been completed more or less. We have covered everything. Now we will try to solve these small questions from the NCERT. Officials collected dash from the area under the direct control of the ruler. So they collected basically tax. Royal princes often went to the provinces. They were appointed as governors. Okay, Mauryan rulers tried to control dash and dash which are imported for transport. They tried to control roads and rivers. People in forested region provide Mauryan officials with, they used to give them elephants for the army purpose. Okay, timber, honey and wax, all these kind of things. Ujjain was the gateway to the northwest. Oh no, this is false. Friends, we have read Taxila was the gateway to the northwest. Chandragupta ideas were written in the Arthashastra. No, Chanakya ideas were written there. Kalinga was the ancient name of, it is coastal Orissa, we have read. So false. Most Ashokan inscriptions are in the Brahmi script. This is true. So friends, thank you.